Over to the caster desk, it's Munch and Scoundrel to cast these games.
Hello, thank you very much, Sona. We are here. My name is Munchables, and casting with me is Scoundrel once again. We're here to guide you through the action on Summoner's Rift. How are you feeling about this series we're about to sink our teeth into?
I have not cast Choke in quite a while, and I am super excited to see them again. And FM, they've been around for ages. These guys are like stalwarts of the UK scene. People like Tundra, people like Nutri. They've been there for a very long time. And what's really important is Choke have Numlocked coming through, and this is potentially his last series of League of Legends competitively ever.
It's definitely his last, well, not definitely, but potentially his last tournament, obviously. It's been picked up by Gamers too.
For undisclosed
Overwatch,
FPS.
I'm just going to mention it, but we are already into picks and bans here. Renekton, Jax, Vayne, and Malphite being banned out. Interestingly, Vayne and Malphite not really champions that you would initially think would be banned out.
So what is so interesting is it looks like they are just trying to delete every possible champion that Nutri could pick up, because Choke banning out Malphite is something that I imagine that FM are going to want to put Nutri on. Now, the storyline here that we really want to focus on is Nutri was originally FM's jungler, then spent a long period as FM's support, left League of Legends for competitive poker, came back and is now the top laner for FM. He hasn't had that much practice, but I know he has been going crazy in solo queue this week since the roster swap was confirmed. And Malphite is a champion that I imagine FM will want to put Nutri on. It's safe in a 2v1, can be relatively safe in a 1v1, and no matter if you're getting dominated in lane, if you use Malphite for that ultimate can swing things in your favor as long as you use it correctly. We did see it come out yesterday, and we weren't so impressed with the way we saw it used.
I mean, there was some space still to improve on that one, but I mean, it's exactly as you say. If what you're immediately see Talon Kench going to be locked in. We've seen Tundra play it 100 times in the Premiership already. Definitely a champion he's comfortable on, but already insta-locks on the side of Choke as well. Alistair and Rek'Sai going to be locked in.
So this is the first Rek'Sai we've seen of the tournament. Rek'Sai was banned out yesterday, particularly against Max Law, but most junglers really love to pick up Rek'Sai because, like I talked about yesterday, it's a champion that
so powerful.
It's so powerful, and it's an all-round jungler. It can be aggressive, can farm, can put out damage, can be tanky. I mean, it just has that map presence, and also he can very effectively go either a Chilling Smite and a Sightstone still, or just go for that Tracker's Knife, and then you can get so much deep vision because the mobility this champion provides. You can get across terrain with ease. You can jump into the enemy jungle, ward up, and get out through that same tunnel and feel very safe about it. So it's a very smart pickup from Choke.
Yeah, absolutely is. And on the other side, we're going to see FM locking in Victor for Zivis. Now, Victor is not a champion that Zivis is new to. We've seen him play this one a whole lot across the Premiership.
This is Zivis's go-to champion in that mid lane. We have talked about the ways that we think FM are going to win. There are two real key points for FM to take the win. Nutri is on something that means he won't get behind and can, go fairly even within lane. And Zivis has the potential to dominate Ravano in the mid lane. Ahri was not actually banned. So Ravano could go for it, but he's hovering over Malzahar right now.
Fingers crossed, he likes that. I don't think it will actually happen. Misfortune, however, I can definitely see being locked in.
See, Jokerism, like even when he was on XL, there's the Ahri.
The Ahri's got through. Last time these guys played, and the second game of the series, it was 2-1 in favor of Choke in the end. The second game of the series, Ravano went 14-1-7 on Ahri.
Yes, I mean, if there is, I don't think Ravano's a one-trick by any means, but if you were to call him a one-trick, he would be a one-trick Ahri, because his Ahri is leaps and bounds above his other mid laners. And FM looked like they didn't want to take it away from him because Zivis obviously favors that Victor so much. I imagine, I mean, everyone who knows Ravano knows he plays Ahri.
Absolutely.
FM are thinking, we can probably deal with it. We trust Zivis on that Victor, which I would say, if you're looking at equal skill levels, they're probably about even in terms of champion mastery between the two of them. You've got that much time on Victor on Zivis and that much time on Ahri with Ravano. These guys in the mid lane, this is the real lane to look out for here, in my opinion. We've talked a lot about the top lane, and there's Nutri onto the Shen. We've talked a lot about this. if Nutri can stay very safe with that Shen, can affect the map. And what is so good about Nutri is his macro decisions are fantastic. When he was the jungler for FM, his mechanical skill was never the best. He will be the first to admit that. His mechanical skill was never the best. But his macro play and his ability to affect the map and understand the game flow is what made him such a good jungler. Yeah. Putting him on a top laner that has the potential to affect the map like a jungler is something that I think is going to be really beneficial for FM.
Yeah, absolutely. And we already see, I mean, Choke so far in this Champions Select, really decisive Champion Select. Immediately, the second it's their turn, just lock them straight in. And we're going to see Jokerism on Sivir. Now, Jokerism as a player, we've seen him play a lot of Sivir. However, in the current patch, and 5.22 as well, we haven't really seen that much Sivir.
Now, Sivir is never really a champion that's going to drop out of favor because you never pick her for really her carry potential. She is a champion that you literally want to hit your ultimate, and then pick someone off who's out of position, and then just force a 4v5, take objectives. I imagine Choke are going to be looking for quick rotations here. They're going to be looking to group pretty early, look for skirmishes, make use of that Sivir ultimate as much as physically possible. Like you said, with the changes to AD carries, she's not exactly, when you think in your mind, one of the strongest AD carries in terms of being a carry this patch, but
she enables others, though.
What is so interesting about 5.23, and I think this is something that we all have to remember, is it's so early in the preseason right now. People are trying these AD carries because they've been proven strong in solo queue and what we've seen from very little competitive so far. Sivir probably hasn't been touched because she was the flavor before 5.23. Now that the changes have come through, people are wanting to try something different. But maybe you go back to what worked beforehand and, you know, it probably still works exactly the same.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's what they say. But we are heading on to the Rift, ladies and gentlemen, for our first game of this second semi-final. Choke Gaming up against FM Esports, our second seed up against our third seed. This is definitely going to be a close matchup. Let's get into the action here as FM are on our blue side.
Oh, pause coming through already. Wouldn't be a UK LAN without at least one pause right at the beginning. So already the position is telling you something. Choker looking to get some deep wards down. Yeah. Choker looking to get some deep wards down here, maybe trying to spy out the lane swap because you know, with a weak top laner, like we saw yesterday, they were very keen to lane swap into Alfari.
I mean, so both games yesterday were lane swaps.
Exactly. So it may be this time round that because they perceive Nutri as the weak link, maybe they're going to want to lane swap away from Nutri, you know, keep him in a 2v1 on something like Shen. He knows he's going to potentially be safe for the most part because you play so defensively in a 2 versus 1 as long as you're not getting dived. And even then, diving a Shen can be risky. So Choke may be looking to spy that one out. The way that FM have positioned already, it's telling me that they aren't even going to look for the lane swap. They look like I think they're going to go for standard lane setup. It looks very solo queue in the way that they've gone. They've just gone for a defensive spread, maybe looking to get some defensive wards out.
Absolutely. And I mean, I've been talking to Nutri recently, and he was saying, while obviously he isn't typically a top laner, that's not the role that he's played for the longest time. Yeah. He's confident in his ability on the champions to, at very least, go even, just keep farming up. He's not intending to try and go for crazy kills, not trying to go for crazy plays, and he might not know the niches of the top lane champions like someone that has been playing for years would, but he knows the champions enough and he knows the meta enough to be safe in a lane. He's not going to do anything stupid and just get killed 3 times.
Like what I said earlier about Nutri is that he is a player that is so clever in the macro level of play that you're very right. He can very easily just sit in the top lane, farm it up, never go for trades, and then affect the map with that Shen ultimate. And that's why I love the Shen. Brixton actually said to me before we went live, I'm pretty sure Nutri's going to be on Shen because it's a champion that means he can stay safe, he can affect the map. It requires little to no mechanical skill to make work effectively. You just have to have good game sense.
It's the perfect pick for the scenario, essentially. But take a look at the warding already coming out from Choke here. 4 wards in the red side of FM's jungle. They are not going to let anyone go near that part of the map, but it looks like Kino going to be starting off with his Gromp anyway, but actually going to have no leash whatsoever. On the other side of the map, we're going to see Chokerism taking away that Gromp and heading down to lane.
Yeah, at least as a jungler, doesn't always need a leash, and it's going to allow Tundra and Toaster the ability to take away these Krugs, get themselves a slight advantage. You're already seeing Hado and Jokerism make their way to lane. They're not actually going to push this one hard. They're going to try and freeze out as much as possible. the thing about the FM competition, they have a really, really big pick competition here. You know, they've got the
oh
Nutri.
my God, Nutri's in trouble. The undertow, the flash comes out from Nutri at the last second. That is Numlocked making a statement here. He's like, I may have been playing some Overwatch, but I am not a top laner to be taken lightly.
That is Numlocked. He is so fantastic. Jokerism, though.
Jokerism could be in trouble. Toaster jumping forwards and showing why everybody's been sort of hailing him as the top UK AD carry, just going so aggressive. Jokerism having to back away.
Yeah, you can do that as Tristan. That is a level 2 all-in, and also you do get that jump reset if you manage to get the full proc on your explosive shot. So you can get basically a double explosive, double rocket jump damage down as well. Nutri having to burn the flash early. It speaks volumes that he probably hasn't played this matchup a huge amount, because most people will know level 1 Olaf is incredibly strong. Really, really strong, so you have to be so careful. And actually, Dong's missing out on the River Scuttler, but is looking to go aggressive and get inside the jungle of Kino here.
Yeah, certainly is going to be at very least trying to get some vision. Does spot out Kino. Kino immediately just going to back away, make sure he can get to base safely. Does not want to be starting a fight with that Rek'Sai anytime soon, obviously. Can get very messy when you start off those early fights. And we were already saying earlier, FM, they like to go for this macro style of play. Early skirmishes isn't really their style. Definitely
not. In the bot lane is likely where you're going to see the most action, just because of how Tundra likes to play on Tahm Kench.
Yep.
He used to play Tahm Kench in the top lane very, very often, so he's a very proficient Tahm Kench player, has all the know-how to make this frog work to its extremes. The thing I love about the FM competition, though, is they have really good map rotations, they have good tower push, and they've got good pick. So they kind of, it's more of a CC-orientated pick competition coming from those guys. They're looking to exploit vision, catch people out, and then take towers. They have Nutri to turn things around. What is really, really interesting about the Shen into a Sivir composition is if you're trying to catch someone off guard and you're trying to take someone down quickly with the Sivir and the rest of the gang, basically, you throw the Shen ultimate onto that target and you can delay, if not completely stop, the initial engagement from the Sivir.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the crucial things as well in this matchup that we haven't really touched on just yet is Dongs has replaced Nocturnal Plex. Now, Plex is renowned for how aggressive of a jungler he likes to be, how much he wants to just not only control the enemy jungle, but also just gank, like non-stop essentially for the first few minutes of the game. We're almost at 5 minutes. We're yet to see a gank come out from either team. By now, Plex has usually gone for about 3 ganks. So I'm interested to see how the general play style of Choke Gaming changes with this new jungler. But we do see Kino coming into the top lane. Numlocked has found himself in a 2v1, but Dongs arrives and gets the knock-up. That's going to be first blood. Numlocked incredibly low, but he lives through it. And it is going to be a 2-0 trade for Choke.
Dongs, that was perfect. Beautiful flash unburrow from him. And he knocked both people up, and then obviously focusing down Nutri at the end there. Oh, wow. And then Kino blowing everything basically onto Numlocked. Obviously, as you get an Olaf lower, he becomes more and more threatening. He has that increased attack speed. Combine that with vicious strikes, he's getting lifesteal back, and then the undertow across 2. It was beautiful. All based off that amazing flash unburrow from Dongs. Beautiful turn for Choke here. They're going to give themselves a huge advantage. Nutri already starting to lag behind on CS in the top lane like we thought he would. He's going to have to play really safe from now on because he's going to be a target.
Yeah, certainly is. Ziv is in the mid lane there. There was 3 people heading towards him, but he is going to be able to stroll away from that one. Didn't walk quite out of position enough for them to be able to go for anything. But so far, with those 2 kills going across to Choke, the 2 members that have the kills as well, in the jungle 6 CS up, in the top lane 10 CS up, they're certainly feeling confident with this kind of a start.
So when you look at FM, the 2 people you have to keep your eye on is Ziviz and Toaster, because like we said, they are the 2 that are going to be the carries. Tundra, however...
Oh, Tundra's been knocked under the tower. He is going to have that thick skin to soak up some of the damage, and with the explosive shot, they do trade relatively easily there. Nice little combo by Hado. Not really going to be able to get quite as much as they would have liked out of it, though.
Troll Kench to the extreme right there. That's exactly what you expect. Even if you knock him into tower, he has got a couple of life bars you have to get through before you can get to seeing that frog served up on a plate. So, you know, it was a nice little move by Haddo, but it's never really going to have a huge swing in the lane when you're trying to get Tahm Kench down very quickly, because it's just not going to happen. Ravano heading back, level 6. This will be a time that he's going to be looking to exploit Ziviz, who doesn't have really any defensive summoners. He's got Ghost and Flash, obviously, but they're not going to help too much when Ari's Spirit rushes out. Maybe help juking the Charm, but if that Charm lands, I would imagine Victor will be in a very tough spot.
Yeah, and I mean, the Ghost isn't necessarily for juking and escaping.
God, no,
Typically, it's for the positioning when you get to that team fight phase.
Exactly, that's why I don't call it a defensive summoner, because it's more aggressive. You use it to be able to get up close and personal, make sure you can use your Q and Death Ray effectively.
And then get out again
exactly,
as well.
Yeah.
It's kind of... It removes one of the weaknesses that typically Victor has in his kit, in the fact that he has no mobility whatsoever. The only peel he has for himself is that gravity. Well,
Toaster.
Haddo actually could be in trouble here. The explosive shot is on, the slow is down, but Ziviz is waiting for him. Tundra pulls him out of the gravity well and spits him back into it. Ziviz finishing off with the Siphon power. That's going to be a kill for FM.
I was about to say scumbag Tundra, because he pulled him out the Chaos Storm. He was going down anyway. I was just thinking he might have taken the kill away from Ziviz, but that's a nice early kill for Ziviz here. Nutri again having to back off. Almost a double CS lead for Numlocked in the top lane now. And Dong's making his way up. They want to get an early tower here. A distinct difference in playstyles that you're seeing between Choke and FM and the games we saw yesterday. We saw very early tower pushes, heavy into the lane swaps between those two teams yesterday. You see Infuse playing a lot more like you see Challenger and LCS teams playing. FM and Choke, this is more what we're used to seeing from UK esports teams, going for the standard style of play. Very slow-paced games that rely more on skirmishes to swing things round. And I would imagine Dragon will be more of an objective in these games than we saw yesterday.
Yeah, Dragon was... I mean, we saw a couple of Dragons being taken, but I mean, the game times yesterday were 25 and 27 minutes. They're not exactly the longest of matches, but already we're 9 minutes in, there's only been 3 kills on the board, so I would expect these games to go on longer. But also, I mean, we mentioned this earlier, FM, very micro-oriented team, and then as well, Dongs as a jungler over Plex, much more about map control, about farming up the jungle and making sure he's ready. And you can see already, he's got that Balmy Cinder, going to be going for the Cinder Hulk, which when you think of Nocturnal Plex, you do not think Cinder Hulk, and that's, you can immediately see that playstyle difference.
Yeah, but I like that playstyle difference. I think it's far safer and far more suited to the lineup that we're seeing from Choke. Numlocked is already going very aggressive, as you would expect a Olaf to do. He don't need the extra damage from Dongs. Yes, it would be good, and yes, it's a risk you could take and it could snowball the game, but you're not exactly dominating the mid lane and you're not exactly dominating the bot lane either. Yeah. So you don't need to take that risk. Going Cinder Hulk is far more useful for the team, and it'll put you into a position to be far tankier in the mid game, where these mid game teamfights could be all the more important. I'm really feeling for Nutri in the top lane, though. He is struggling, bless his heart.
Yeah, I mean, when you have to go up against a player like Numlocked, who has been so dominant in the top lane for such a long time, and then he picks something like Olaf, which is pretty much the epitome of a lane bully, you're never really going to have a good time there.
Oh, Ravano taken very low by Ziviz there. It's really good from Ziviz to get this damage out, because it makes it less and less likely that Ravano's going to want to go for an all-in.
Haddo could be in trouble, though. The explosive shot is stacking on up. Tundra going to spit him back into the team, but the ultimate from Alistair just denying any damage coming out. Repel comes out from Kino, as well as Stand United, and now Numlocked is locked up, but he has Ragnarok to escape. And after all of that, 3 versus 4, nobody goes down.
Yeah, I mean, that was a very difficult team fight to look at right there, because it almost looked like Haddo was definitely going down, but Numlocked teleporting in right at the last moment, managed to secure, just keep him safe, basically, at the very end. Jokerism now the target.
Oh, now they've got onto the AD carry. This could be good, but Tundra is being focused on down. But there's the Buster shot, and that's going to be a kill. Tundra might just fall for this one, but they're going to be very happy with that trade. They've got a kill onto Toaster. It's another kill into the hands of Numlocked as well.
See, what is really important to pick up about that last team fight is, had Nutri
Ravano's Spirit rushing into... No, I thought he was going to go aggressive. There's the flash, but a beautiful reaction flash from Ravano. Dodges the Chaos Storm.
What was so interesting about that last team fight was that if Nutri had not been on Shen, his teleport was down, he's having to use it very defensively to get back into lane. That probably would have been Choke cleaning up the bot lane. Nutri on Shen, means that he's able to affect the team and keep the lanes that are going to carry in a safe position. That is basically what Nutri is there for this game. He is just there to keep the lanes that are going to carry safe.
It's like having an extra support. It's like having a Lulu.
Exactly. Nutri's basically playing a support top, because he knows that the only way that FM are going to win is using their star players, Ziviz and Toaster. And Tundra's having a great time in that bot lane on Town Kench as well. I love the way he's playing. He's aggressive. He's managing to pick up the right targets.
Yeah.
It is...
I mean, managing to get onto Jokerism there was so crucial.
Yes.
It got Toaster that early kill. He's now gone for not only a BF sword and pickaxe heading towards the IE, he's also grabbed himself a Zeal. So very early power spike. It is going to delay the Infinity Edge, but it means that he has a little bit more power if they go for a skirmish.
What's also really good is the way that the explosive shot was timed there.
Yeah.
As he timed the explosive shot and Tundra managed to spit out Jokerism before the explosive shot procced, so he could get the ultimate down as well, which obviously secured the kill right there. So again, Toaster in a really good position here, and Toaster will be the guy that will go off in these team fights. It doesn't matter how fed Numlocked is, if Toaster is going to be destroying him before he can get there.
I think the biggest issue right now for FM, while they have been doing a good job so far, they are still down, and it's Numlocked that has the kills. Oh, Tundra starting a fight yet again. Unbreakable Will comes out, though, from Haddo, and that's going to deny him being eaten up by Tundra. But Numlocked, already 2-0-1, 100 CS almost. He is feeling very confident, and now they're going for the blue steal as well.
This is good from Choke, because they know that Nutri is never going to be able to react and be useful in the small skirmishes. They can have their way with things like the blue buff. They've got the vision control, they've got the pinks down. Tundra taking a bit of damage here. They know that Nutri's never going to be able to be in these teamfights because he's just not tanky enough. He will go down very quickly here. So this is the way I think Choke can exploit the weakness in that top lane. Look for the smaller skirmishes where Nutri's going to have to be involved in a immediate basis as opposed to coming in with his ultimate and being a more utility-based top laner like that.
Looks like Numlocked is going for a fight, but so are Choke, as we see Ziv is knocked sky high and then knocked immediately down, but Tundra gets to devour. It's not enough, though. He goes down regardless. Dongs picks it up. I believe that was with the Praise Seeker. Was it Red Buff?
Yeah, I think it was Red Buff at the very end there.
But either way, he does manage to grab the kill onto that mid lane as Ziv is trying to rotate, but just not able to get the kill. And Nutri had Stand United. I think they thought he was safe.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they thought he was safe, and they may have made the call, don't go for the Stand United. It was millimeters. That was like a game of inches right there with the... judging
to be honest, I thought he was on more HP.
I'm trying to work out whether when you're devoured, does it delay the red buff proc? Because as soon as
any debuffs that are already on you like that, so Ignite will still tick, I believe, and like Explosive Shot won't, but Death Mark will. So it's a little bit different skills react differently. But there's this steal from Kino, and now the fight is kicking off. Haddo is being chased out by Toaster, and he does get the kill. Raveno's been found as well, and FM, they get the dragon, and they get a double kill for themselves.
Huge swing, great steal coming out from Kino right there. The Elise Q smite combo, very hard to outsmite that, and then Nutri uses the Stand United and makes a very useful and handy taunt to pick up another kill. Really great play, nice macro play from FM. This is what we praised them for. Numlocked is going to return with the top lane turret, but they do get both bot and mid lane turret and the dragon as well as a couple of kills. Massive swing for FM here.
Yeah, and you can see that reflected in the goal. Once they finished off this tower, they are going to be almost 1,000 gold ahead of their opponents. Bear in mind that Choke were well over 1,000 gold ahead of FM just about 5 minutes ago.
What is so interesting right now for me is that because of the way this game is playing out, and it's going to be relying on smaller skirmishes and team fights around objectives, Toaster, like Impaler talked about it on the analyst desk, Toaster shines in these situations. He wants to have the team fights, he wants to have these skirmishes because his positioning is far superior to someone like Jokerism's. He is the best AD carry in the UK for a reason. So FM love this. They want these team fights. They want the smaller skirmishes because they have the CC trains that the guys from Choke don't have, and they have this superior positional AD carry. So this is exactly what they want, and you saw it right there. Beautiful, beautiful swing for them.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, if you take a look across the scoreboard right now, you can really see sort of with the roster swap that came in, Kino joining FM and Nutri as well. People have been saying that those are potentially the weaker links in the team. You can see that across the scoreboard. Numlocked and Dongs right now are the two for Choke that are ahead. And, oh my goodness, we have a needlessly large rod coming out from Kino. He's going aggressive.
That is super aggressive. I think it's probably trying to swing between the fact that Numlocked is basically going all-out aggressive on this Olaf here. He's going carry Olaf. So,
is there any other kind of Olaf?
Sometimes you can go tanky. So they know that Nutri is just going to be building flat health, flat resistances here. Kino wants to make himself a threat because obviously Choke are going to have a kind of like a 2.5 threat composition. I always say Civ is not that much of a threat herself. She's more of an addition to a team threat. So FM want to make sure that they have a 2.5 threat composition coming through as well. Oh, Hado getting locked up here.
Hado has been found, and we're going to see Tundra joining the fight with that Abyssal Voyage, but he's found himself all on his own. Jokerism going to be critting him, but the grey health is going to be more than enough. I mean, you really just can't get Tahm Kench down.
No, and actually, Jokerism preemptively using that spell shield before he even had 3 stacks of the Tahm Kench passive on him, so he wasn't even going to get devoured, but used it, which meant that had he been in a different situation, he probably could have been devoured very easily and then isolated. Tundra get charmed.
Oh, the charm does land, but the damage just isn't there. There's no follow-up available. Numlocked in the meantime pushing in this mid lane, but Zivis should be able to arrive and just clear that wave, although Numlocked might just go aggressive. He can go for the dive. He's got the Ragnarok, but he decides to turn around. The damage from Zivis is going to be there. One more auto attack. The Chaos Storm ticking away.
No!
But Zivis goes down, and we see Numlocked walk away from this one.
He must have been on sub 10 health there. That was crazy. A singular tick of Chaos Storm more and he would have gone down. Nutri made a slight misplay there. He could have waited on the taunt. He didn't need to go directly for it. The Ragnarok was still available. Had that taunt landed, Numlock would have gone down, potentially even saved Zivis' life. So a tiny misplay coming out there. If he'd waited maybe 1 second, half a second more, that would have been a secure kill onto Numlocked. Yeah. Maybe he was just trying to get the damage from Shadow Dash down because, like we said, it was so close right there. The damage may have been enough to tip it over the edge, and who could have predicted that? It was basically about 10 health.
Yeah, that was so unfortunate for FM that Numlocked was able to Ragnarok and Ragnaroll out of there. But now we're going to see Ravano heading up towards this top lane, trying to escape from this situation. And Toaster going to be heading up here to try and push out this lane a little bit.
So I love the variants and AD carry builds that we've got coming out here. Toaster going for the BF sword and pickaxe, then choosing to go straight into the static shield. This is something that we used to see from Tristana when she first came back onto the scene after her rework. You would build the BF sword, then just go straight for the static shift because you have a kind of mid-game power spike with the explosive shot and static shift combo damage. It looks like Tundra and Toaster are waiting to make a play here. They've got that brush pink warded. Very patient from these guys.
Yeah, maybe looking to try and set up somewhat of a death brush, but take a look at the trinkets already. We're seeing blue trinkets all over the scoreboard, 5 across the 2 teams, and this is something that is pretty new on this patch, is the amount of blue wards that we keep on seeing.
Yeah, the blue trinket is just so powerful because you have a ranged ward placer basically that has a very low cooldown, and the wards are permanent, so you can ward the enemy jungle. Obviously you don't need a sweeper to get rid of them, but it's the vision that you gain for that short period of time that is the most effective.
Yeah, it's like instant long-range vision. You can't really say no to that. And on the grounds it's not checked, it's infinite.
Exactly, infinite, and also...
oh, Thunderlord's doing a little chunk there.
Very short cooldown as well. It means you can spam them pretty effectively. You know, when you ward the enemy jungle, you are seceding to the fact that it is likely going to get swept out at some point. And even then, those wards only last 3 minutes. Sometimes these blue trinkets, because they don't get checked that often, can last between 1, 2 minutes, 3 minutes sometimes. Nutri having to back off here. Numlocked looking to go hard. Yeah,
he's looking to trade this one, but Nutri actually trading relatively evenly on this one. The sustain coming out from the Vorpal Blade doing him wonders in that trade. So it's just trying to get these death rays down. But
I can't remember the Keystone Mastery, but I'm pretty sure most Shens take it, where you 4 auto attacks and you steal a portion of health back. Nutri looks like he's taken that as well, just to add to his sustain and ability to sustain in team fights.
Yeah. Absolutely, and you can see that sustain really starting to do dividends. And as well, he's finished his Sunfire Cape, he's got a Giant Spell. He's certainly feeling a lot tankier and a lot safer in this 1v1 against Numlocked.
Yeah, and the more flat health you get versus an Olaf, the better it is, because he does have those reckless swings, which basically do a flat amount of true damage to the enemy target. They do scale quite effectively now with AD, and Numlocked has picked up that Hex Drinker now, looking to go a little bit more tanky. You can see him on your screen there, Billion. Billion Numlocked up on your screens, the 2 top lane matches. Looks like the Dragon is the point of call for Choke. They did have the first one stolen away from them, so they are looking maybe for a bit of revenge here. RFM going to want to go for a full-on 5 versus 5.
That's going to be the question. I mean, across the two compositions, let's take a look at how well these guys can teamfight. Joker isn't taking a chunk of damage there. Maybe that'll be enough to deter them from trying to start this 5 vs 5, but Zivis is really starting to ramp up in damage right now. He's finished his Luden's Echo, he's got that level 1 power core, he's got a Blasting Wand as well as those cooldown boots. So in a team fight, Zivis is actually going to start to get pretty terrifying.
Yeah, Nutri's tower incredibly low here. If Numlock wanted to, he could take it down and apply pressure to Nutri because he is looking to affect the team fight from a distance here. Numlock's going to have to teleport in, whereas Nutri should get a more instantaneous and better positional move into the team fight. They look like they're now trying to get some vision of that Baron area. Blue Trinket is doing some serious work for FM.
Yeah, they are indeed. They do now have control of the Dragon Pit, but it looks like they are just going to back away and sort of concede that position. They don't want to be caught out and end up losing the mid tower.
Pace of the games between these two teams are so much slower than we saw yesterday, and that's a testament to how close these guys are in terms of skill. This is the second versus the third seed.
Tundra caught up by a charm here. Ravano going to be forced to use the Spirit Rush though, so that's going to be on cooldown as well. This actually could be sort of the green light for go for FM Esports right now. They could potentially kick off this Dragon.
100%, and it looks like with Dong's backing, he does obviously have the ultimate to get him back into the fray, and that's exactly what's going to happen. Tundra took a huge chunk of damage there. He's going to have to back off. Does have his ultimate as well, the Abyssal Voyage. Works similarly, but a lot slower than the Rek'Sai ultimate. Now, what is obviously we've got to keep an eye on here is this is the second versus the third seed. These guys are super close in skill, and it's you're kind of seeing it here. The gold difference is marginal. Kills are very even. Most people pegged FM to have a really tough time of it, but they are showing everyone that they've got what it takes to go toe-to-toe with Choke. Now, Choke will be desperate to win this because they want to get to that final. Yeah. They want to go up against Infused, who they lost to in Season 1, remember. Choke last year, this time last year. Oh,
Ravano's caught out. The Chaos Storm's going to be there, as is the Siphon Power. One more Death Ray, but that's going to be the Orb of Deception denied by Tundra. But there is Hado to try and finish the job. He can't quite finish anything, though. Does not have the damage on that Alistair. He's forced to flash away. And it's actually Choke using a whole lot of cooldowns to not much effect.
I mean, Tundra definitely saved Zivis' life there. Now Tundra looking to get aggressive onto Dongs.
Tunnels away, he's going to be fine.
Choke made a pick on a very important wave clear target here. You've got to remember that the only real wave clear that they have is that Death Ray with the upgraded core. So Nutri going very aggressive there to try and ward them away from the turret. And that is a job well done by FM.
Nutri, though, he can afford to go aggressive now. Look at his build. He's already got his Randuins as well as a Sunfire. He's getting very tanky very fast at this stage. And just look at the dramatic difference between Numlock's style and Nutri style. You've got two huge tanky items on Nutri.
100 CS
You've got a more of Malmortius and a Black Cleaver, but as I say that, Hado has managed to find himself in the middle of nowhere and is going to be punished. Everybody from FM getting in on that kill, and now they're going to push onto this tower. Teleport being channeled, but they're just going to be chunking this one down. Anyway, Gravity Well comes out. Ravano Spirit rushing off to the side, but it's going to be Dongs forced out of this fight immediately. Toaster doing so much damage. Ravano with the last bit of Spirit Rush to try and get on Toaster, but he just can't find his target.
Keep an eye on Toaster's positioning once again. Always on the outside of the fight. A brilliant taunt by Nutri, actually, to pull Dongs away from an aggressive position. Numlock got locked up as soon as the turret, he teleported to the turret. I think a Gravity Well was placed on that teleport location.
Yep.
And I've got to say, props to Toaster again, very close to picking up a kill, kept himself safe, and always had that rocket jump to get himself over the wall as well. Fantastic play, and now they're going to try and pick up the Dragon. Bit of a risky move, I would say, from FM.
Yeah, they are starting to chunk it down, but here come the Choke Brigade. They're looking to try and deny this one. Kino tanking this Dragon for quite a while as Tundra is incredibly low. Thick Skin is ticking, but so is Ignite. There's Heart of the Mountain, but it's not going to be enough. Jokerism finishes him off with the last auto attack, but in the meantime, Zivis has found himself with Nutri in a 2 versus 4. Ravano on the side as well, but they can't quite finish off these targets. Nutri so tanky, and now it's Choke that are going to start off the Drake.
Yeah, but Choker's so low. It's just Jokerism that has a healthy life total right now. Numlock trying to life steal up the Dragon. Nutri going in!
He is indeed, gets the taunt, but they can't finish off the kills. Dongs is so low. Toaster, he's got the Stand United on him, but it's not enough, and Numlock is going to flash over the wall. He's trying to get to safety, but Zivis is chasing. Ravano trying to Spirit Rush away as the Death Ray is going to finish off the 2. Coming out from Zivis, there's only Ravano left. 4 men down for Choke.
That was a decisive play. I want to see a replay of that, guys, because that was huge. Massive, decisive play by Nutri. Hopefully coming up on your app. So you've got to watch Nutri. He knows. He's telling his team right here, I can do this. I'm going to get a huge taunt off, and you can see this is Toaster as well coming through. Aggressive, but knows he can be aggressive because he's going to get some resets. Jokerism coming through, and the ultimate from Nutri manages to keep Toaster alive for just a little bit longer. So
he had rocket jump there.
He had rocket jump. Yeah, I think he thought he could take out Numlock, but aggressive positioning, but nice aggressive positioning, and all of that was because of the decisiveness of Nutri, and that's Nutri probably bringing his macro experience and experience of teamfights to the FM lineup on the champion like Shen, saying, I can do this, guys. I am the little ninja that could. And he jumps in, and I'm loving the way that FM are playing right now.
And I think as well, massive props to Ziviz. All of his skill shots landing perfectly. He got a death rate onto 3 when we saw the taunt come out from Nutri. And then as well, the double kill with a single death ray. That's going to be the red buff stolen away by Kino as well. And FM looking towards the top lane now.
My only issue with Choke, and I think Dongs has played so well this game. I've got to say Dongs has out-jungled Kino. Kino's got a really good score, but I feel that's more from teamfights. I think Dongs has had more pressure in general across the map. But I just think that the threats are lacking from Choke right now. Ravano, yes, he's starting to ramp up. Yes, he's getting some really, really big items through. But he's 1-on-1. That's not a score that we're used to seeing Ravano and Ari with.
Yeah. I mean, that's the key thing, isn't it? We were harping on about how if Ravano gets Ari, he's going to be a force to be reckoned with. So far, he's 20 CS down, he's 3 kills down, and he's 2 assists down. Ziviz is running rings around him, and he's gone for a Lich Bane. We are going to see some one-shots coming in.
Yeah, I mean, a Lich Bane Victor build, you are basically telling the enemy team, I want to get within auto-attack range.
I am now an assassin.
Yeah, he's going to be running in, using that ghost to position, and looking for the auto-attacks with the Q. Obviously, you get the empowered auto-attack from your Q anyway. Yep. Imagine the Lich Bane on top of that. Most Victor players will know that if you go for Lich Bane, you're looking for the one-shots. If you don't go for the Lich Bane, you tend to be a more poke-orientated Victor. You'll be looking for huge Chaos Storms and Death Rays consistently. But this is a Victor that's going to get up in your face, very personal, looking for close quarters team fights as well, to follow up on what I imagine is going to be Nutri taunting, like we saw previously.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we need to take a second, while we've got a break in the action, just sort of work out where we are in this game. So far, FM 2,000 gold up ahead of their opponents, a dragon apiece. But the key thing, I think, is that they are 2 towers up as well, so that map control will be available. Yeah,
and we haven't really talked too much about vision, but you can see FM have pushed their vision line very deep into both sides of the Choke jungles here. So you've got good wards across the blue side and good wards across the red side too. They've got that place lit up like a fire. They know exactly what's going on Choke's side of the jungle. And you're seeing here Haddo having to sweep things out. They're using pink wards defensively. And that's when you know you've got a good position. Against a Sivir team as well, who look to group in the mid game, and in the famous words of our good friend Dunzo Manifesto Link, you just group and win. Well, they're trying to group, but they're sure as hell not winning.
No, they're absolutely not. And I think the key thing here is going to be later on in the game when we see Jokerism's ultimate used for Numlock to just charge to the backline. If he can take out Ziviz in a team fight, if he can take out Toaster in a team fight, he's going to be terrifying. However, it's whether or not he can actually get onto them.
Yeah, well, from what we've seen so far of Toaster in these team fights, it's certainly burning both sides of the Choke lineup. They are popping up and they are crispy because Toaster is just going off. I mean, he is 3 items. He's a whole item up over Jokerism right now. And he's on a carry like Tristana, who will always out-carry on a one-to-one basis when you compare it to a Sivir. Like we said, Sivir is never that huge auto-attack AD carry that you would expect. She is there for her ultimate. She's there to allow you to position. She works so well with Numlocked on Olaf. It's a time-old classic. We saw TSM run Sivir, Lulu mid, Olaf top, because that was just a huge combo that meant that Olaf could run wild.
And Dyrus immediately got a pentakill.
Yeah. when they let Dyrus play League of Legends, he got a pentakill. But
that one time.
But you know, that's the combo that you run. You run the Olaf. This is basically a pre 5.23 combo. This is a very old composition coming from Choke. And actually the analysts on the desk pointed this out so cleverly. They said Choke, they're a bit behind in the meta. you know, especially Numlock, especially the guys, their team hasn't played together that much recently because of commitments.
Fight's kicking off though. Hado is going to be able to get a really nice knock up and a knock back as well. Tundra trying to escape, but he's going to be chunked out. Chaos Storm ticking down onto Donks, who is going to go down. Toaster's going crazy. He's looking for Hado and he gets the reset. Jumping onto Jokerism. He's looking for more. He's going to find himself the double kill, and now he's looking for Numlocked as well. That's going to be a kill onto Nutri. Double kill for him, and Ravano once again the last man standing for Choke.
I have to look at this again. I think we're going to have a replay coming through. I want to make sure you guys can see the Baron going on because Raven might look for the steal. Look at everyone go balls to the wall on Zibiz right here.
Ravano just got a double kill.
Ravano just got a double kill on the other side. But look at here. Just look at Toaster's positioning. That's all I want you to see. He is on the back line and then he knows when to go aggressive. He jumps straight into the fray and starts getting the resets. He got a triple kill. I kept just seeing it.
Ravano just went insane.
Ravano just went insane on your side screen just there, guys. We'll hopefully be able to bring that to you as well. You can see here, Toaster just, you can see, go aggressive. He knows when to take champions down, and then he is able to position so cleverly and keep himself safe. I've talked about it time and time again. The analysts talk about it time and time again. We are going to get a replay of this Baron fight. This will be the first time that we've all seen it, so I'm sure Munchables will be able to take you through it quite effectively.
Yeah, I think, well, once we get it onto the screen, we'll be able to actually run through what happened there, but I believe it was just Ravano going absolutely insane. The Baron did get picked up by FM. We're going to be able to bring it up on your screens now. You can see Ravano comes in from the side, lands the charm onto Toaster, gets a double orb of deception, and then Baron's picked up. Kino does manage to get the kill, I believe, with the Venomous Bite. He does, actually no, it was Kino going down. Nutri finishes off the kill. And we are going to have a bug splat, so we'll be able to boot that one up again in just a second. Head on back into the game. And we've got a double bug splat,
oh my god, bug splat was just, I mean...
Is this OGN? I feel like I'm part of OGN right now. The bug splat's coming out left, right, and center, and Kha'Zix isn't even in the game.
I know, sorry, right there, you've got to take importance of the code that came through. Yeah. It was a really important piece of code, bringing you a quite timely bug splat right there.
Yeah, I mean, it's always important to note down those error codes as well. Make sure you can Google them and make sure you can troubleshoot the issues so the bug splats don't happen again. I'd love to tell you what's going on right now. We'll be back in the game as soon as we can be, but I mean, Baron onto FM, only Nutri has it there. It's essentially a Rift Herald.
Yeah, I mean, what I imagine is going on right now, you saw the dragon being taken. It was a beautiful stop. Did the Baron go down? I think
the Baron went
down right at the end, so they did manage to pick up the Baron onto Nutri, which is actually good because Nutri will be in a split push scenario. So Nutri will be using the Baroned up minions to the greatest effectiveness. Yeah. Now that the rest of the team have lost it, they are going to be a little bit more careful because Ravano now has got a huge power spike. He's caught up with Zibiz, I imagine, just from that singular team fight.
Yeah.
And that it's a saving grace for Choke because they also just picked up that first dragon in the game, which is going to give them that damage boost that is so key and effective. So I imagine going forward, it's going to be a little bit more even, but I still think FM will have the advantage. And you see here, we're back in the game, and they are going hard onto this inner turret in the bot lane.
They are indeed, and as you predicted, we see Nutri up into the top lane, split pushing with that Baron buff. They already take a tier 2 tower, and FM, despite predictions of Choke taking this one 2-0 and 2-1, we're seeing FM doing a phenomenal job in this first game. Nutri, with a huge minion wave of Baron-empowered minions, can be able to just apply so much pressure.
And he had a huge wave as well. Numlocked is going to find it very difficult if Nutri is in the vicinity to take those minions down as effectively as he was earlier in the game. Tundra, aggressive with that Abyssal Voyage right here. They're rotating to that mid lane, trying to get some damage down onto the mid lane in here with the turret. I believe they should make the best use of Nutri if they push as a 5, to be honest. But they're going to rotate up now with Nutri and the Baron minions to the only remaining inner turret of the game for Choke.
Nutri and the Baron minions sounds like an indie band or something. I can imagine that being something. We are going to see FM starting to push up in this top lane. Baron has now timed out.
So their first song is Super Cannon or something, you know?
Yeah.
The Purple Blues.
It's the Big Boy Creeps. The Big Boy Creeps. It's the first album.
Nutri and the Baron minions with Purple Blues. Or the Big Boy Creeps.
Big Boy Creeps, boys. Anyway, let's take a look back at this game. 14-11 is the score, and a 5,000 gold lead now for FM. They're certainly feeling comfortable, feeling confident in this one. Let's take a look at the scores on the doors. 3-1 and 8 on Nutri right now. He's doing a fantastic job so far.
That is probably above and beyond what anyone expected Nutri to be able to pull out this game. He died once. And to be honest, Brixton said it on the analyst desk, Nutri's not going to be looking to, you know, be aggressive in any situation at any point in the game. He's probably not going to die, and Nutri's fulfilled that to the absolute extremes. and done it so well as well. I imagine if FM take this game, Choke are going to be looking to say, well, we know Nutri's weak, we know he's going to be defensive. Maybe we just literally ban out every single top lane tank that can be effective for Nutri, and then we just look to abuse that lane.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, they weren't able to ban out all of them as Nutri has found himself on Shen. And actually, he's looking for the fight. Tundra going to be spitting out Kino to try and get onto Numlocked, but they're just not going to be able to find him. And with the teleport and everything used, Zivis has found himself alone in this middle lane.
I'm kind of confused about that aggressive play into the top lane, especially onto someone like an Olaf.
With Ragnarok.
Ragnarok, and also Deadman's Plate. You know, he's got Deadman's Plate. That means he can be very quick if he's got the full stacks of it. So, yeah, I'm kind of confused about that. It looks like they're going to...
Raveno's going aggressive. Zivis is going to get the stand united, but Toaster goes down. That is huge for Choke. Raveno able to Spirit Rush away from the team fight, but Hado goes down to the Chaos Storm. Zivis is doing what he can. He's trying to sweep up this fight, but he just doesn't have the targets available.
Okay, we're going to have a quick look at that replay right now. And I have to take a look at the positioning because I think Toaster believed that Zivus was going to go down here because he got taken so low, but Tundra to the rescue once again. Look at here. A very, very quick replay for you guys.
He got literally deleted. The fastest kill I've ever seen in
it was so quick. The replay even had to go quicker just to highlight how quickly Toaster got deleted there. But it doesn't matter because they are going to pick up the mid lane inhibitor turret for their toils. And
we use replays for hype here, not for
exactly. It was actually just an inner monologue of what was going through Toaster's mind. It's like, ah!
I feel like we should have had Benny Hill in the background behind that replay. That would have just made it all that much better. But Tundra even going to be swimming on down to that bottom lane. There is a phenomenally huge minion wave for him to soak up. Interesting that the support is going to be the one going down. Ziv is going to join him. I think they're just going to be sharing that XP since Ziv is already level 18.
Yeah, and I've got to point out again, even though that replay was really quick, you have to notice, like you pointed out earlier in the game, how many of these skill shots Zivis is consistently hitting across multiple targets time and time again. Yeah. Just absolutely going crazy.
Yeah, Zivis is a phenomenally good mid laner and phenomenally consistent mid laner as well. Take a look at his CS, 402 at 38 minutes in the game. We're going to be seeing... I mean, FM, while they are ahead, they're 5,000 gold ahead. In the last couple of minutes, we've not really seen them pushing out on the map at all. They've been sort of in their half of the map. This is
a 40-minute game. This is basically the cumulative time of the entire series yesterday in one game. It is such a slow-paced game between the two. But I think it favors FM. You know, they have this lineup that's going to be going into the later stages, be far more effective in team fights. They can split push effectively with Nutri, and Toaster is the later game scaling AD carry. So FM are so happy this is going to a 40-minute game. I mean,
take a look at Zivis as well. Zivis has hit
full build.
He's done. With like 40 minutes in, he's finished. He just needs to upgrade his boots, and he's completely full build.
He is done, and I imagine Choke is donezo, because that full build Victor will be wreaking havoc every single time. As if they don't get him down, Toaster won't be going down. If they don't get Toaster, if they get Toaster down, then Zivis won't be going down. It's like a lesser of two evils for Choke here. They've got to make very, very split decisions and hopefully somehow land some sort of wombo double knock-up onto the carries, which I think is very unlikely, especially with Tahm Kench, just to devour one of them and keep them safe.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, Choke, what do Choke need to do right now to be able to pull this out? Can they even go for these team fights? Is there some other way that they need to be playing this?
I don't know. I think Choke have a mid-game team. They've got the Sivir, they've got Ari, they've got Olaf. They've already lost. Like, in my honest opinion, they've already lost because their team is designed to group and take early objectives and just consistently apply pressure by grouping and Sivir ultiming. They haven't got any of the inner turrets from FM. Unless it's a colossal mistake from FM, Choke are going to find it so difficult to win this out now.
We'll have to see if that's going to be the case. Still not too far behind in gold. Obviously, it is a 5,000 gold lead in favor of FM, but 40 minutes into the game, 5,000 seems like a lot less. That is going to be a mid lane tier 2, and actually Tundra's been caught out. The thick skin is going to keep him alive for a little while, but he flashes to safety. Numlocked is trying to do what he can, but he just doesn't have the damage. He goes down. Toaster picking up that kill. There is no signal coming through, but we're back on the rift again. And it's a 1-for-1 top laner for support.
Top laner for support, and actually Toaster having to back off, which means that Choke will be able to get the dragon here. So actually a bit of a win for Choke because they come away with a 1-for-1, a turret and a dragon, which is just a positional error. But actually look at FM. They say, who gives a flying donkey? We're going straight for the Baron.
That is going to be the question. Who will give the flying donkey? It looks like FM are looking to give one straight over to Choke. A nice Void Rush, though, comes out from Dongs, and that is going to deter the immediate Baron Rush coming out from FM. They're just going to be looking to try and get some vision control. Nutri going onto Hado. Procs that Randuin's just to try and slow down the giant cow. And now Toaster throwing out the damage. Dongs is waiting in the wings, but he can't find his target. Zivit's going to be able to narrowly dodge the charm from Ravano. That is going to be nobody going down. A little bit of pressure from both sides. FM in a fantastic position, and they're going to start the Baron.
Numrod has teleport in 10 seconds. This actually could be really key for Choke. You have to keep an eye.
Look how fast it's going down, though. If Toaster can continue to focus this one, they might be able to take it. Dongs is in the wings. He's looking to try and get this steal. This is going to be the Abyssal Voyage coming out from Tundra. They're looking to start the fight, and it's going to be Hado jumping in, but he's immediately being melted down. He doesn't quite fall, but now he finally does. Numlocked is going to be the next target. He can't get onto Toaster. He's going to rocket jump forwards, and he gets Jokerism. That's going to be a kill for Nutri. Dongs just trying to burrow away, tail between his legs. Ravano just on the edge of the fight, but he can't quite get into this one.
I believe we may actually have a replay coming through here, and it will be key to look at how well Toaster can keep himself safe against this Olaf. They're going for the Baron. They know they don't actually want to finish it. They don't want to take this to a smite war. And Nutri managing to stop Dongs. They knock Kino away now. Look at Toaster. He is just in that back line. Numlock running straight at him, and he jumps away, and beautiful attack movement. I mean, that is some amazing attack movement.
There's the flash taunt
exactly.
as well.
We've talked about Nutri not being the most mechanically intensive. He's made 2 really key flash taunts here. That the animation queuing for him was fantastic, and I've got to say I'm so impressed with how Nutri's performed. As a guy who, in era of sounding like Jat, a guy who is Diamond 5 in solo queue right now, coming through against Numlocked on. I'm saying like. He's played so defensively, and he is on Shen. But you can
That's
see
exactly how he had to, though.
He's still retaining some huge amount of the skill that he previously had in League of Legends.
And it looks like we might see another fight. Zivitz gets caught up by the charm. Stand United comes through, but he's going to go down anyway. Ravano picking up that kill, and now Tundra on the front line is going to be focused down. Thick Skin is going to be available. Toaster, he has to start pumping out the damage. Ravano's been caught, though, and that's going to be Toaster chunking him down. Kill goes across to Tundra as Dongs is trying to escape this one. Numlocked charging into the back line once more. Can Toaster do the damage, though? That's the question. Health bars are melting left, right, and center, but it's going to be Jokerism going down. Toaster, he's looking for the cleanup. He's got the bomb, gets the double kill, and now he's moving on to Hado, gets the triple kill, and that's going to be an ace for FM.
And they're going to go for the Baron. They're not even going to try and go for the end or the inhibitor. They probably could have ended the game with the Tristana, but they're going for the Baron. Look here, Zivitz gets caught out right at the start. Now that's so key, but
I thought that was lost on that point.
I thought it was lost at that point, but Toaster is dodging everything right now. He is positionally doing a great job. He gets knocked up and a lot of crap happens to him right there. But as he's kiting away, watch Nutri. This basically seals the fight for FM. Nutri lands a 3-man taunt onto 3 key members. Look at that. I think actually it didn't hit Numlocked, but it hit Jokerism, who went down immediately to Toaster, and then Toaster manages to pick up the second kill onto the only living threat, which was Numlocked. This is the Toaster show right now. Zivitz has had a great job, obviously. He's been fantastic, but right now this is the Toaster show for FM. He's 9, 3, and 11 on this Tristana.
He certainly is, and this is going to be 2 inhibitors focused here. Toaster, with the Baron buff, trying to do what he can, does not want to get caught out, though. Is going to back away and just allow Kino to take that mid one. They decide that they're going to come back later for the bottom lane inhibitor.
FM are playing so careful because I actually, like I said, I potentially think they could have won the game, but Baron is probably going to secure it for them. They don't get that second inhibitor, but it is open, and now they've got the option to just push with huge waves into the final living turrets on the top side of the map for Choke, obviously disregarding the Nexus turrets. But I mean, this is great. FM are playing a slow, methodical game. It's 45 minutes in. We are just not used to seeing this on 5.2. I don't remember the last 45-minute game I cast on this patch. No, I don't think I have cast a 45-minute game on this patch.
I mean, we've been talking about how close this series is going to be, 2nd versus 3rd seed. Even with the subs, this is insanely close. FM are taking the lead and slowly but surely starting to eat this one out. But Toaster has just been exceptional in these team fights, and now we're going to see FM grouping up in this bottom lane. They're looking for this open inhibitor. Nutri going to be split pushing off to the top side of the map. Does have that Stand United available, though, so we'll be able to join these fights should it be necessary. But honestly, FM don't even need to fight right now. They can just pressure this and just allow Nutri to take towers.
Yeah, and I think Choke on their last legs right now. They have to make a last-ditch effort with the Sivir ultimate. it was close when they picked out Ziviz, and you know, Ziviz had no impact in that last team fight, and it still went FM's way. If you don't catch Ziviz out and Ziviz doesn't make a positional error like he did previously, it is going to be almost impossible for Choke to win.
Yeah, a couple more auto attacks is going to be the bottom lane inhibitor tower now. And FM with 2 inhibs down, they can choose to rotate to the top, or they can choose to try and just force out the end of this game. But look how low the top tower is already. These cannon minions are doing ridiculous damage. That's the promoted minion, and that's going to be a taunt onto Numlocked. He's going to be the focus target trying to get onto Toaster, but the Stand United's going to deny that. And this might just be the end of the game. Kino trying to get onto this backline. It's going to be Donks trying to protect this. Gary's with a Chaos Storm, just annihilates Raveno. And now Hado with that Unbreakable Will trying to protect the AD carry, but he is wiped off the map. That's going to be another ace coming through for FM. Triple kill for Toaster. That is going to be the Nexus towers falling. It's going to be the Nexus, and FM with an underdog roster, with roster swaps left, right and center. Our 3rd seed takes the first game of the series.
That is what we talked about from FM. They have the team play that is almost unmatched in this in this ESL UK Premiership. They have one of the most solid rosters in terms of, I don't want to sound super corny, but you know, friendship, the power of friendship coming through for FM, because everyone pinned them as potentially the worst team coming in to this UK Premiership, and they have just shown they have a roster that can take it to the likes of Choke.
I mean, you know what FM stands for? Friendship is magic.
Friendship and magic, FM esports, guys.
But they do manage to take our first game up against Choke Gaming. This is only a best of 3, so Choke Gaming really have their work cut out now. We have our analysts standing by over on the analyst desk. Sona is going to take us through what happened in that game.
Hello, guys.